Annica, the post advertising your upcoming match says expect relentless pace, slick transitions, and a fight for dominance from start to finish. Who takes it? Make sure you're there to find out. That sounds incredibly exciting. How are you preparing and are you ready?
I am ready, Liv. Honest, I can't wait to step on the mats. I've been preparing in the gym. My coach Max Bickerton has been helping me, watching me as I roll, because we do the ecological approach in Grapple Collective. So we've been doing game-based activities in order to perfect my game ready for ENYO.
Nice. And it is all about a game because we are going to have fun. And we'll talk about that in a moment. It's really great to be able to chat with you for the ENYO Submission Only Jiu Jitsu podcast and the ENYO 7 event at Central Hall in Southampton on Saturday, the 7th of June. If you haven't got your tickets, go and get them. This episode is sponsored by London Grapple Jiu Jitsu, bringing world class martial arts to London. They are the leading BJJ gym based in Deptford, Southeast London, specialising in submission grappling, MMA, wrestling, and Muay Thai. Whether you're a beginner stepping onto the mat for the first time or an experienced athlete, at London Grapple, they've got you covered with 60 plus classes a week tailored to all skill levels. Go and check out all the sponsors for ENYO 7 in the show notes. So, Annika, talk to me about the kind of fun and the gamification of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
Well, it's all strategy based, to be honest. Like every grip, every movement can symbolize something. I think it's kind of beautiful with the soul and mind body connection jiu-jitsu has, where you have to really try get into the mind of your opponent.
Yeah,
I really try think, what is she trying to do with this grip? Like,
yeah.
can I use this to my advantage? It's kind of like a chess game. I hear that quite often about jiu-jitsu, and
Yeah,
I really believe that it's true. It's like the chess of sports.
I would agree because I've previously likened jujitsu to playing chess with scorpions because you never quite know what submission's coming out. But I
Literally.
haven't I haven't learned to read enough on the jiu-jitsu competition or invitational mats. Talk to me about the number of invitationals and the experience you've had in kind of Brazilian jiu-jitsu in the invitational space.
So I've had five or six. I think this is going to be my sixth invitational. Um, and I've absolutely loved it. It's a real chance to see how my skills adapt under the bright light and how well like, how able I am to succeed with all this pressure.
Yeah.
So
Like,
it's really exciting. I was last on Raw grappling and I wasn't able to get the submission. So it's made me really motivated to go out there and search for that submission on ENYO. And I'm bringing that fire with me.
I am very excited. Searching for submissions is kind of the gameplay. Now, Annika, remind me of your rank.
So I'm a blue belt.
Okay. Now, before we started recording, you did one of the things that a number of blue belts, I'm touching wood, me, has done. So tell me about your white to blue belt days and then what happened.
So, white to blue belt, I started jiu-jitsu when I was just about to turn 15. Fell in love with it instantly. It went from no jiu-jitsu at all to training at least like eight times a week,
Wow.
right into the deep end. And then I think I didn't handle the pressure well, unfortunately. It was a really stressful time for me, going through puberty and all that. And just couldn't handle the pressure. So I, after I got my blue belt, I would say like 2 months probably after I got my blue belt, I quit. Of course, absolute classic.
Yeah.
I got my blue belt and decided I know everything there is to know about jiu-jitsu. I've got my blue belt. It shows I've done it and that I'm not a beginner. Just what else do I need to know?
Well, that's a very interesting attitude.
No, I
Neither
don't have that
good nor
attitude anymore.
I was going to say neither good nor bad. It's just a thing. But tell me about some of the pressures that you kind of were dealing with to step away. So as well as feeling like you've kind of learnt everything, you know everything, you've got to a
No,
colour
I did
about
not feel
status.
like that. It was more actually the opposite. I really
Okay.
suffered badly with my mindset at
Yeah.
that age. So no matter what, I was constantly talking to myself in a really negative way, saying, "Oh, I can't do this. Oh, why am I even trying? I'm just gonna embarrass myself."
Yeah.
And honestly, it was draining. I was wearing myself out mentally, physically, training as hard as I can on the mats, but then as hard as I can in my mind,
Yeah.
trying to pull myself down in every way. And I think I was going about jujitsu all the wrong way until I had a couple of years off where I partied and made the most out of my youth until I out partied myself. I can't do that anymore,
Yeah.
and decided like I miss jiu-jitsu with all my heart, and I started back and fell in love with it again instantly and went straight back into the deep end and really put my heart into it again and worked on my mindset from when I started, so that now every time I think a negative thought, I follow it with a positive. So
Okay.
say I am really tired and I'm like, oh, I have to go to training. I change that right away to I get to go to training.
Yeah.
And it's the subtle shifts in what you say to yourself that really makes the whole difference. From
Yeah.
looking in the mirror saying I'm fat to looking in the mirror and saying I'm strong, I'm beautiful. And
Yeah.
the more you start learning about the way you talk to yourself, the more you realize how important it is to talk well to yourself, not
Yeah.
only to yourself but to others. By talking kindly and seeing things in the brighter perspective, you you really transform your life.
Absolutely. And I think you've made a very good point. Did you realize you were talking so negatively to yourself throughout your kind of teenage years?
I would say when I was going through a really dark time, I realized that I was trapped and I
Okay.
thought I was hopeless, that there was nothing I could do. And I think everything I thought there was no hope for me. It was
Okay.
a really dark time, and I worked really hard on mindset. And what I'm trying to do is trying to teach people what I had to learn the hard way so that they can
Yeah.
know without all the hassle it took me to learn it through.
Yeah, I think, going through life, certainly as young teenage women, girls, it hormones are surging, there's lots going on, there's lots in life, there's lots of responsibilities. I'm not saying kind of, family and everything else, but education, just lots of stuff that actually doesn't always get spoken about and gets overlooked. And we're kind of in a society where showing up, being incredibly positive is, kind of welcomed. But there's so many of us that deal with really tough things, and just putting a smile on is not going to fix everything. But it sounds like you've really shifted your mindset to listen to what you're saying in your mind and replacing it with a very positive statement. What was the turning point for you?
So it first started before I started back jiu-jitsu. I started writing again, and I was fed up of my mindset. I was fed up of always dragging myself down. In a world full of suffering, I was my biggest enemy. I was my worst critic. And the world will bring you down enough. You don't need to be an extra source of suffering. You
Yeah.
need to be your biggest fan. And I realized that, and I was thinking, how can I make a change? And I started writing to myself. And it first started with a little bit of scribbles saying, like, remember to breathe, trust in the process, remember to hope and dream. And it turned into poetry, it turned into writing speeches to myself. I
Okay.
wrote in a way that wanted to think. I wanted to believe the words I was writing. So I would write, it was kind of like to myself. And
Yeah.
until one day I stopped writing what I wanted to say and started to believe the words I was putting down. It was a
Nice.
really beautiful moment. I was honestly just so happy that it that I noticed the shift in my mindset, and I when I noticed, I was like, "Whoa, what a big milestone!"
Yeah.
Like, we need to appreciate all the small milestones, because otherwise they get overlooked, and otherwise you don't
Yeah.
realize how far you're coming on this amazing journey.
I've just misheard you, but I thought you just said smile stones. And whilst that's not a thing,
Milestones.
I know, but smile stones, it is smile stones. There's something really joyous
It
and
is.
happy about all of these things. Okay, we're renaming
You've
milestones to
created a new
smile
thing.
stones. Okay,
that's
Annika,
that's our new thing.
okay, good. We've got smile stones. And even those small ones, for me, with the kids training jiu-jitsu, it's actually just getting in the car to go to jiu-jitsu and
Hmm.
just stepping on the mat. They are such small steps that actually it's just appreciating
Hmm.
anything that we can do towards feeling better about ourselves. We will come back
Exactly.
and revisit some of your jiu-jitsu moments in a second. This is the ENYO Submission Only Jiu Jitsu podcast with me, Lou Temlett, talking with all of the upcoming ENYO 7 competitors. One of the things that would really help this show grow is by you subscribing on whichever platform you are listening or watching on. If you could do that for me right now, I would be forever grateful. And as always, go and check out the clips on YouTube and Instagram at ENYO Grappling. Today, I'm having a conversation with Annica von Mantripp. Annika, we have kind of dealt with some of your kind of negative to positive mindset, your kind of positive outlook on life. Thank you for opening up and sharing about that, because I think some of those really difficult things are completely overlooked because we're on a stage at invitationals or competition, and we are probably in our most vulnerable state. Now, earlier you mentioned about the bright lights on the ENYO stage and other invitationals, but talk to me about how that feels to be on this stage that is ENYO 7.
It's a feeling like no other. Let me tell you that. Like, it goes from your heart racing so quickly before the match begins. You're standing on the sidelines and you're thinking, okay, this is it. This is my time to shine. And then as soon as you step on, it's kind of like all the background noise just goes. It just
Yeah,
goes. You don't think about anything else, and you're hopping around the stage and you're like, okay, this is where I'm meant to be. This is and then you look out and see the crowd, and honestly, it's it can be quite nerve-wracking but exhilarating at the same time. Like, I can't describe it. I'll
yeah.
try my best to, but
It sounds like a whole mix of emotions and excitement
yeah.
and kind of ready. One of the things that kind of echoed for me was school sports day. You're about to hear the horn or the whatever kind of get going, and that's my heart racing. You're kind of there,
Mhm.
about to do a sprint or something, and you go, oh, do I start now, or when do I start? And then you're off, and you're in the excitement of the race or
Yeah.
the match. um do you enjoy the walk-on experience?
Yeah, I do. It's actually one of my favorite parts of it all, because that's the time where you really get the chance to face yourself. I don't really think of it as facing your opponent. I think
Yeah,
of it as facing a past version of you. The version of you that gave up after you got your blue belt. Like, that's who I'm
yeah,
fighting. The version of me. Like, I want to fight the person who I was to be able to become the person I want to be.
yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
Good. Now, are you known for any particular submission? And yeah, talk us through your kind of your highlights so far.
I would say I'm known for my rear naked choke. Rear naked choke, because even if I can't get it under the chin, I don't care. I'm putting it over your face. If you don't like it, you can tap. I this is jiu-jitsu. Come on. I'm
Yeah,
not here to plait your hair. I'm here to choke you out. I'm here to break some limbs. If you don't like it, you can tap. But on the mat, I can be quite
yep,
mean. But off the mat, I will tell you how great I think you are for getting out
yeah,
there and trying. Like, I want to support everyone. I believe everyone can go so far if they really put their effort into it. If they really
yeah,
tried their best every day, I think everyone would just do so amazing. But on the mat, if
yep.
I'm up against myself. This is war. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to beat me.
Okay, that's reassuring. I'm not fighting you on ENYO 7, so I'm very grateful for that. Um, how frustrating was it not getting the submission or kind of finishing the submission in one of your last invitationals?
So frustrating. But I'm not gonna lie, I was quite stubborn, and it was a real big learning curve for me, because I went out there and I was just hunting a straight footlock. That was it. I wasn't transitioning to anything else. I was so determined to get that straight footlock that I was ignoring opportunities to get other submissions.
Yeah,
And I look back at the videos now and I'm like, how silly must I have been to just ignore so many other submissions and be
yeah,
so tunnel vision on
mm,
just one submission. Anyway, that was a big learning curve for me, and I think it's made me realize how important it is to be completely present in the time you're in the
yeah,
present tense. Like, come on, don't go for the move that you want to go for the move that they're giving you.
yeah. It sounds like actually on the mats, you need to have a view of that bigger picture,
Hmm.
because there are lots of opportunities. In chess, I'm gonna liken it back to chess. If you can't move a particular piece, then move another piece and then get that submission. Um,
Hmm.
you know,
Exactly.
there's not only one option. You have many options. You just need to be able to see them.
You've got to be able to strategize in present time. You can't just go in with your what you want to do. You have to be
Yeah,
able to take what they're giving you. And that's
yeah,
what I'm learning to do.
good, good. Annika, just as an aside, do you play chess or have you ever played chess?
I have. I used to play it with my dad when I was younger. He was the one who taught me. And it's kind of like a nostalgic memory I have with me and him. And
Nice.
I did it when I was really young and I wasn't able to strategize. I don't
Yeah,
think well, but I think I did it again when I started secondary school for fun, and I was able to strategize a bit, but I never
yeah,
got that good at it. But I think I'm really learning to be able to strategize in jiu-jitsu, but it's a
yeah.
never-ending journey, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And it's about building up the layers of techniques and strategies. Now, talk me through just some other jujitsu stuff that you've done, because I'm now sidetracked with chess a little bit. So you need to bring me back on track, Annica.
Well, me and Tara fought whilst I was still in Drag, and this was in a grappling industries event, I think it was. And I pulled guard, and she wasn't able to pass it, but she almost got past at one point and won by submission, not submission, and won by decision.
Yeah.
um, but I'm coming back with that fire in me, trying to get some redemption, even though it was just a decision win.
Yeah.
Um, that's not. I need to go out and prove myself, not to everyone else, but to myself, to
Yeah.
prove that I have come a long way since when we fought last time, and that I'm
Nice.
able to learn and adapt. And my end game is be black belt world champion. That's the big goal in the big future.
Good.
But right now, all of these little, not little, but like all these shows, all these competitions are
Yeah.
creating a path for me to become a champion. The only thing that separates like the greats from beginners is that they never gave up. And
Yeah.
I never want to give up either.
Good.
This is all a
You've
part of the journey.
I love that. You've had a timeout. You're now coming back with a lot more fire. This is a rematch. And you've got some ground to kind of cover, but it sounds like you're strategically there. I am very, very excited. I will be cheering you on from the front row, Annika. Um, what you just super excited about ENYO 7
I
and
am
just being there?
so excited. Honestly, so excited. I haven't competed in a while because
Okay.
not not really any good reason. I should be competing as much as I can, to be honest. So no good excuses. I'm gonna try compete much more in the upcoming future. But
Good.
I I just can't wait to go out and see how what I've been working on in training, how it like how I can put it into strategy
Yeah.
right under the big lights. I just I think it's all a fun game and will really win or lose, I'll come out and the same what I do next will be the same. I
Yeah.
will look at what went well, I look at what went wrong, and go from there.
Incredible. Now, you earlier mentioned that you're a writer. Will you be preparing in kind of a writing format either before or kind of summing some things up after ENYO 7?
Exactly. That is the goal. I'll write before how I'm feeling. I'll write a little speech telling myself to give my best because what truly matters is that I'm up against myself and I'll remind myself of all the things I already know just just to make myself realize that there's nothing to be worried about and I should just go out there and give it my all because that's what truly matters, being able to look adversity right in the face and be able to conquer it.
I love it. You're already conquering it, Annika, and it's going to be incredible.
I'm so excited. Hopefully I can
Ha-
get the submission this time.
all of the submissions, Annika, because they're all there for you.
Exactly. I just have to be completely present in the moment, take what's
Yep.
given.
Amazing. Amazing. Annika, how can people follow your journey if they're not already?
Um, on Instagram, that would be great. At Annica BJJ. Please give me a follow, give me some support because I'm just trying to create content that helps people with their mindset and able to push past horrible negative feelings and thoughts that they might have, and they don't know how to deal with them. I really want to help, so just send me a DM, follow my page, because I'm just going to be trying to post more of the things I've learned that have really helped me, and honestly have given me a happier life without having someone always in my head pulling me down, dragging me down, saying I'm not good enough. I have someone in my head saying you can do it, and I want to teach other people to get that that voice in their head too. It's not an
Amazing.
easy road, but it's very much worth it.
It is absolutely worth it. Annica, I'm wishing you all the luck and looking forward to meeting you in person on Saturday, the 7th of June at ENYO 7. Thank you so much.
Oh, I can't wait to meet you.
All
It
right.
was lovely talking to you. I hope you have a lovely day.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Tell your friends about this show, and as soon as this episode ends, I'd really appreciate you dropping a show rating and a review. Thanks again for listening. Catch you on the next episode of the ENYO Submission Only Jiu Jitsu podcast.